The court case of controversial pastor Timothy Omotoso and his two co-accused resumed in the Port Elizabeth High Court today. Last week, Judge Irma Schoeman dismissed Omotoso's application to have his trial heard in the jurisdictions where the alleged crimes took place. Schoeman said that would only prolong the trial and does not see how this would be in favour of the accused. Schoeman also ruled that the authorisation certificate, which is challenged by Daubermann, saying it did not correspond with the indictment, remains valid. Jayed-Leigh Paulse is on the story and she joins us now from outside the High Court. A very good morning to you, Jayed-Leigh. Another week, another Omotoso trial appearance.
That's true, Desiree. Another week and another set of delays from the Omotoso trial. Well, today we saw the defence file a leave to appeal application to Judge Irma Schoeman, citing that they were not happy with her ruling, and we saw defence lawyer Peter Daubermann coming out strongly saying that the judge did not apply her mind, especially with regards to that certificate of authorisation of all the charges. If you have been following the trial, you would know that that was the bone of contention with the defence, and that they wanted all the charges not to be centralised in Port Elizabeth, saying that some of the charges, some of the offences that Timothy Omotoso and his co-accused Sanda Solani and Zakiswa Sito were actually not facing here in Port Elizabeth, but they were actually committed elsewhere in the country, and several other places were mentioned, such as in Mpumalanga, the Western Cape and KwaZulu-Natal, even going as far as overseas in Israel. So the defence really coming out strongly there last week, saying that they should not be centralised in Port Elizabeth, that the Port Elizabeth High Court has not got the jurisdiction to hear all the charges. We saw the Judge Irma Schoeman then dismissing that application last week, and now today the defence is challenging that, bringing an urgent leave to appeal application on the matter of the jurisdiction. But throughout the trial there's been several delays. I'm just going to rope in the regional spokesperson for the NPA, Jayed-Leigh, just to unpack it from the NPA's point of view. We've seen the state prosecutor Ntewa come out strongly, Mr. Jayed-Leigh, saying that this is just delaying tactics. From the NPA, what is your stance on the matter?
We still believe that the defense is actually delaying the inevitable, because we have a case against the accused person, and we believe that even if the judge today grants them leave to appeal, the Supreme Court of Appeal will decide in our favor.
Now, a lot has been centralised around that certificate of authorisation, and citing, well, the defence coming out citing that the then former NPA head Sean Abrams did not actually list the offences on that certificate, and it did not corroborate with the indictment. Do you foresee that this might become a bone of contention, and it might be taken to the Supreme Court of Appeal? That will probably be the issue that is at hand, and the success of the defence in winning this application or overruling the original ruling from the judge?
The judge did agree with us last week that the charge sheet or the indictment was sufficient, and it is our belief that that is still the position even at the moment. Hence, we are going to oppose their application for leave to appeal. Then we believe that when the time comes, we are going to present our case in court, and the judge will take a decision based on our case.
Do you still have a watertight case against Timothy Omotoso and his two co-accused? Do you still believe that there's sufficient evidence to keep him behind bars?
The fact that we are still proceeding with the case means that we believe that there's a case for him to answer. And our witnesses are ready to present their case and testify in court. And we believe that even these delays won't change what they are going to do in court.
Mr. Jayed-Leigh, just in regards with those the state has said, Ntewa has come out saying that this is a delaying tactic and that he's concerned about the witnesses. Do you believe that this might just, affect some of the witnesses? It's an emotional case. It's highly publicized as well. And I suppose that those witnesses who are watching this case, do you believe this is a tactic to water them down so that by the time they do take to the stand, they are tired?
At the moment, what I can say is that, these witnesses are ready to testify. and the delays will not change anything. And of course, the fact that they have to halt what they are supposed to be going on with their lives and come to court and only to find that of course the disappointment. In interest of fairness in the case, we believe that even after the delays, this case is going to go ahead and people of this country are going to see justice served.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kyali. Well, there you have it, Desiree. Mr. Kyali, the regional spokesperson for the NPA, really coming out strongly, saying that justice will take its course, also saying that the state has a watertight case, that they are not concerned with all the delays on the cards and applications brought by the defense, but merely saying that, once this application is dealt with, they will see the witnesses take to the stand. Desiree, I'm just going to walk out of shot now and show you what's happening behind. The Jesus Dominion International Church members are still standing by their pastor, Timothy Omotoso, and they have said that they will not move until he is released from St. Albans prison, saying that he is innocent and that they know that he will be released from prison soon. But on the other side of the road, we have the ANC Women's League, who have also come out in solidarity, standing against the witnesses, and that first witness in the matter, Cheryl Zondi.
I like that they're singing that song as Pelelanga. Are they meaning that they shot off their pastor?
Well, they've been singing a lot of songs, and I think that a lot of the, civil organizations and the ANC Women's League, they've been clashing with regards to those songs that you speak about, because they're saying, how can you sing these songs when this man has done so much? But Desiree, it's been a very interesting couple of weeks now with both of the parties, the ANC Women's League coming out to support their respective people. We've seen the Timothy Omotoso Jesus Dominion International Church members coming out at 7 o'clock in the morning and, just talking to some of them, asking them, do they really believe that he's innocent? And some of the stories that I would hear, they would say that no, they're going to stand behind Timothy Omotoso, and that they know and they believe in their pastor. So we've been hearing a lot of songs, a lot of spiritual songs being sung, but definitely a lot of support with the witnesses as well with regards to Timothy Omotoso.
Interesting what Jayed-Leigh was saying there, that the defense is delaying the inevitable. But it doesn't seem to be that Peter Daubermann thinks that, is it? Because he's very adamant in terms of saving his client.
On your screens right now, you're seeing the co-accused Zukiswa Sito and Lusanda Solani just making their way into court now. They've been flanked by senior members of the Jayed-Leigh Church, as well as the security. And we've seen this coming out. They have been flanked by security guards of the church, ensuring that they do not clash with civil society, because we've seen a lot of the members, the general public, hurling insults towards those co-accused. Sorry, Desiree, I cut you off. You were saying?
I was just going back to a comment that Jayed-Leigh made, saying that the defense is delaying the inevitable. And I was thinking, just based on what we've seen unfolding, Peter Daubermann is very determined to find any loophole that he can get to save his client, isn't he?
That's very true. When I spoke to the state prosecutor in Telwa, he said that, since last year, there's been several applications brought by the defense. You would know this if you've been watching the recusal of Judge Mandela Makahula. Even previously, before that, several applications being brought to court, several submissions, several delays, and this has been the modus operandi from the defense. So we've seen the state saying that this is just mere delaying tactics, but I have complied with all of those submissions that the defense have brought in the fairness of justice and the fairness of a fair trial. And we saw this with Judge Mandela Makahula as well. When they brought several applications, he would give them the ear, because he said that at the end of the day, justice will take its course. And, this has been the ongoing. We've seen the delaying tactics by the defense, but the state are adamant that they do have a watertight case, that we will see the witnesses taking to the stand, and that, the delays will eventually, Desiree, come to an end.
Thank you so much for that latest update. Jayed-Leigh Paulse coming to us from outside the Port Elizabeth High Court.